All right. Happy Wednesday here on Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm John. Here's Scott. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. Three broken ribs. It's
Okay.
confirmed. One's pretty bad where it kind of splits
Okay.
and might puncture my lungs. So I got to chill
Okay.
out for a minute. Won't be hitting the mountain bike trails for at least 4 to 5 weeks. So we'll see if I
Wow,
get my
this may
race
be our
in.
last podcast.
Well, I could be vocal. I just can't yell at you no more.
Well, I take that as that means you're saying I'm right.
Yeah,
When you're not yelling, it means
yeah,
I
yeah.
I'm acquiescing to what Jay says, right?
Yes, yes.
and 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 today we're actually going into your wheelhouse like we do frequently. We're going to
Uh,
talk about some NHL hockey.
woo! One
Oh man, we're getting there, right?
April 19th, right? Hey,
Right,
there's one game still in the talks. The Canadians have to get a 1 point to lock the clinch.
right.
If they don't, they're holding their breath and hoping the Blue Jackets fall apart and they
Sure.
stay in the playoffs. But then you go against the Capitals.
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
right.
just set up your tea time. You're going to get swept.
Scott, Scott. You
But
know,
I got the
this is
broom out.
this is hockey, and when you think you already got it figured out, you get humbled in the eyes of the mighty hockey puck. Okay,
Amen.
just
Amen.
telling you,
Hey,
just telling you.
we're not talking about Ottawa against the Maple Leafs. That's a 7 game series. They've been
anybody
saving.
against anybody against Toronto's a 7 game series.
Yeah, yeah, because they're lucky to get out of the first round. I think they've only got out of the first round
Yeah, I
last
think they do have a little problem. I'm sure we're going to get to
little
that.
bit. Yeah, that Kachuk, they got him iced up and ready to freaking smash some people. That's what's going to happen in that series.
They got to do
Yeah.
something, right?
Oh yeah, they're going to put the beat down. Yeah, the yeah,
We'll
just
see. We'll
yeah,
see. We'll see.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
hey,
don't
hey,
don't put the cart ahead of the horse.
hey,
Okay.
hey,
Don't.
hey,
Hey. Okay.
hey, hey. Avalanche against the Stars, right?
All right. All right. All right. Let's let's start over in the East. Okay. Let's
All right.
start
Hey,
over in the
hey,
East. Okay.
hey, hey, hey. Peter Cottontail, like and subscribe. Where are we at?
Like and subscribe. Okay. Thank you. Thank you once again. We're looking at, like you said, potential Washington against Montreal or Columbus, right? That's what we're looking
Correct.
at.
Yes.
And you're thinking that Washington's going to have no problems.
Yeah. It's swept. If it goes to five, I'm surprised.
Okay, well, I'm kind of in that corner with you. I will say this as the self-proclaimed hockey expert. You're actually the hockey expert, but I like to say I am because we're so competitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the biggest part to me of winning the cup isn't necessarily being the best team, it's having the easiest line to it. And it sets up really nice for Washington. I don't think they're the best team. I don't think they're as good as Florida, but their first round matchup is a lot easier. And then if they get through there, they're looking at Carolina or New Jersey, which is far easier than the other side of the bracket to me.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
know, okay?
Agreed. I agree
Uh,
with that. But I mean, to say they're not one of the top teams, they were one of the first teams locked in.
I'm
Like,
just saying,
I mean,
look,
are you
okay,
just
okay, okay.
jumping on bandwagons now? Like,
No, I'm
come
not.
on,
That's you,
come on,
guy. Yeah,
come
that's
on.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're
Hey,
telling me right now, hold on.
yeah.
If the first round matchup was Florida against Washington, you're taking Washington.
No, I
Yeah,
like
that
Florida.
isn't that what I just said.
I
Scott,
like the. I
Scott,
know.
this isn't the
Hey,
other
hey.
podcast. This is off the rails.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Hey.
We're being honest here.
Ha! See.
I see all these other podcasts and they go, I don't mean any disrespect. We don't care.
No,
I'm not
no.
going to their after year party. I'm not
Yeah.
going to Hawaii with them. Okay.
We got no sponsors to worry
Right?
about.
We don't have to worry about the corporate overlords. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the third setup. It looks like in the East, Toronto playing Ottawa. Toronto's
Ottawa.
had a hard time getting out of the first round historically. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, Ottawa hasn't been in playoffs for a long time, but I really think Kachuk saved. I think they've saved some players getting ready for this. Matthews has issues throughout the year. I think we're going to see it when Kachuk puts him against the boards a few times. You
Yeah, you
know,
might be right. Yeah,
you're going to see some gloves being thrown, and Kachuk just running around trying to find somebody to fight.
probably true. And
Yeah.
then we got the other. This is the All Stars matchup in the first round: Florida and Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Kucherov against
Oh,
Kachuk.
oh. I did not want to see this in the first.
Right.
I I I think the state of Florida has the champion going to win the cup. You know, that is just talent on top of talent, goons on top of goons. This is old style hockey that we're going to be seeing. You know, if they don't come out crippled, if they win this series, whichever one, I think it's going to be Florida, the Panthers. They got your favorite player on there. I don't know if you ever heard of him, the Rat.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah. That's a true Boston fan. Either you're with me or you're against me.
Uh,
You're dead to me. I'm surprised you're still doing this podcast about the NHL
Hockey.
because
We
yeah,
came in last in the East. We
yeah.
came in
I,
last.
I thought you would just be all wearing Red Sox gear now because NHL's done.
I
You
thought
know,
hockey was over. I thought hockey was over. We drop the puck next October. Okay.
right?
Nothing to see here. Talk to me in June. Tell me what's
Yeah.
going on. Right.
These are two Titans going to go at it, and if they survive out of this, if it's going to go to game seven, maybe game six, but man, these are Titans, and let's see if they still have energy after this. It's
Yeah.
going to be intense, and
Yeah.
this goes back to what you're saying, right? The easy peasy of the Capitals getting through,
Well,
but
it's easier. It's an
yeah,
easier path, right?
yeah, yeah, but you got goaltending. They're the Panthers and the Lightning keepers are intense. You know,
I
they will throw a win
oh,
just to see what your offense is, and they'll eat you up.
okay. I get where
Uh,
look,
Too
Scott.
much.
I'm going to give you some sayings. I'm picking up what you're laying down, but what you're laying down isn't actually all correct. Let me
Yeah.
help you out here. Let me
All
help
right.
you out here. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Please.
That when you get to the playoffs, we all know they play great defense. We all know the thuggery goes up. We all know the whistles go away. But you really do need somebody who can put the biscuit in the basket. You
Yeah.
need that guy. And I look at a team like Carolina. Defensively, I'd put them in the top 3 in the league. They just don't have a guy who can score.
Yep.
Okay. New Jersey, Hughes, I don't even know what his status is. They're in
Oh,
the
he's
top 3 in power plays. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Right. At the end of the day, yeah, Florida, a Tampa Bay, they're going to ramp up the defense. They're going to do that. And they also have those players who can put that puck in the basket. You remember back in the days, you're a big Ducks fan. They had a 2-year run where you could argue they were the best team in hockey. One year, Jaguar literally stopped everything. They lost to New Jersey.
yep.
Then the next year, he stopped everything and they found out the guy who could actually get the goal. Like literally, if they got 2 goals, you knew they won the game.
Yeah. Yeah. True. It's true. I really think the cup is won through a goaltender. I really do. You know.
Sure.
You know. And the goaltender mindset is completely different than everybody else's.
Yes.
You get the one goaltender that says, I want 40, 50 shots on goal, so I stay hot.
Right.
And then you got the other goaltender, which is the Edmonton goaltender. It's like, no, just give me 12 shots on goal because I suck and
Right.
I need you to score 8 goals.
Yes, exactly. Give me 5 by the second period so
Yeah.
I feel comfortable so they don't pull me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's
Oh,
head out to the West. And I watched the game the other night. The Kings went to Edmonton and they blitzed them. I mean,
yep.
I think they just scored again. That's
Yep.
going to be a first round matchup. The Kings secured home ice. I have looked at the metrics. The Kings, since the trade deadline, have been in the top 3 in goals for, goals against. I mean, every valuable stat, they are there. The problem is they are playing the nemesis. And let me give everybody out here a little interesting fact. When I play golf, I usually do real well. But when Scott shows up, I know it's a smoke show. I know I cannot beat him. He sits there and he's like the Marlboro man. He goes, "Hey, how much am I going to win by today?" Right? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people. Is Edmonton, can the Kings finally get past Edmonton?
Well, I'm like Rory at the Masters.
You're not going to
I,
speak to me?
I get the big lead, and then I let you catch up, and then I drain it at the very end.
Tease me. You tease me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. That's what I am. Um, Edmonton has smoked the Kings in playoffs. They have their number. This year, the Kings have one of the best records at home. They
Yes.
got home ice advantage. To ask Edmonton to take one or two in LA is a huge asking.
Right.
And we don't know what's going on with McDavid. Like, he got
Right.
that hit in the ribs or wherever.
Hmm.
We don't get told because hockey is always like, yeah, upper body injury, lower body injury.
Right.
They don't tell you what's going on. But I was asking this question a while ago. You got these two stallions. Did you just ice him to relax him to because you know how long you've gone for so long with this guy? Like rest him because you know you can. And if you put him on the if you if he laces up, the guy's doing 28 minutes, 30 minutes. The only way you're going to rest him is sitting him home. You know,
Right.
I feel sorry for his dog and his wife. Like, man,
What you gonna
they're
do?
yeah, exactly. So, but then you go into playoffs. Can you turn it back on? And the Kings, they are just on fire right now. I
Yes.
watched that game last night and was like, oh, yeah, we're going to let the Kraken tie us up. And then all of a sudden, 4 goals in like next five
Yeah.
minutes,
Yeah.
and just beat downs. Like, it was just like that goal shouldn't have happened. Those shots shouldn't happen. It was beautiful passing, nice feeds, in front of the goaltender, causing havoc. They are playing on edge and they look really good. I say Edmonton in six. They got to take it in six. If it goes back home in LA for seven, LA is probably going to move on, which
I
hurts
do.
because plus 900.
Yeah.
Man, Edmonton is right now is the time to bet on Edmonton because they got plus 900.
I I wonder, and we've talked about this previously. I wonder what the toll is physically on that team going to the seventh game in the Cup Finals last year. And we watched every game, you and I both, and they played some heavy minutes. In the
Yeah,
regular season, when you played 20 or 24, it went up to 30 and 32, and every minute's tough. There's
yeah,
no taking a break, right?
yeah. Hey, it's tough on McDavid and Drysdale because all the other centers or the wingers, they go to stand up and then they get the wave off.
Yeah,
No, not going in. I'm playing 5 minutes on the ice, bud.
yeah. It's kind of like LeBron with the Lakers. They say, hey, we're going to
Uh,
come out. He goes, no, I'm good.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm going
good.
to keep
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry,
Sorry,
my
sorry.
bad. Yeah, sorry, sorry.
So then we have the next, and to me, this is the most exciting first round matchup in hockey. We have Dallas and Colorado. And this is a situation where I think personally, the winner of this series is going to go to the finals. I'm not saying
Okay,
they're going to win,
all right.
but it's tough. They whoever this is, it's you get so beat up in that first round. Maybe it's a little easier for that team that looks at you in the second round. Goes, thank
Yeah,
goodness they took the legs out of them. Who do
yeah,
you like in
yeah.
that series?
Well, I mean, Dallas is plus 650. They're the top runner for the win the cup.
Yeah,
Isn't that the chalk, as you like to say, the chalk?
the chalk, the chalk.
Yeah,
That's a Vegas saying.
yeah. And I mean, they had Avalanche's number last year.
Yep,
Avalanche came back and went after a bunch of centers. And those are the guys that skate the whole 200 feet of the ice, and they're very strong now. You know, I can see this going to another game 7, and it just this is going to be a horse race. So I don't think
it
it's going to
is.
be. I don't think you're going to see the Ottawa style where there's going to be fighting and stuff, or
No,
the
no.
Panthers a fight. The West seems a little more like they're about the game of hockey of as the perception of the stylistic of playing up and down the ice and scoring and passing. the East is the more thuggish side that I
Yes,
can see.
absolutely.
Um, but we're gonna see a very good dance and some speed of up and downs. If you're not a hockey fan, that is a series you should check into. I
Yeah,
would, um, but I would like to see Avalanche get past them in seven.
I I personally think the Avalanche are going to get by it, but and the only reason I'm saying that, and this is a bold statement, but that's why you're on off the rails. It's because we talk how it is. I think the Colorado has two of the five best players in hockey.
Yep, they do.
You know, and I will say this: I'm going to really go out there. Cole McCarr, I think, is literally the best player in hockey.
Yeah,
That guy controls the game from the back line. He
yeah,
is a sniper.
yeah.
He
Paul,
reminds me of your Duck guys, Niedermeyer and Stevens. I
yeah,
mean, this guy is just a monster out there.
yeah, yeah. I think he's the 12 out of the 13 goals that they've made in penalty shots, power play shots, has
Yeah,
been him. Like
yeah,
there's only one other person that's made the car. You got McKinnon. It's like,
yeah.
and if you look, this goes back to what I'm saying. Canada saved these players for when they went against USA for the final. They
Right.
brought McCarr, they brought McKinnon, they
Yep.
brought these players. It was the smart move. Rest them. If you can rest them and reline up, then why not do it?
I understand this,
This goes to
but
where Jay talks. This
well,
goes
hold
back to where
on,
Jay
hold on a
talks.
second. You
Oh,
have
here we
that
go.
philosophy exactly opposite of what the U.S. had, and they played Kachuk in a game
Yep.
they didn't need to play him, and
Yes.
literally that ruined him. And
Yeah.
literally, he didn't play until quote unquote, let's get ready for the playoffs.
Right.
Right. So we know that guy was really hurt. And
Right.
I, we talked about it right after is I hate this argument by the player. Nothing was going to stop me from playing. Hey, that's what the coach is for.
Right.
That is what the coach to save you from
Huh?
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't this what you were saying about Duke?
Yep. They should have saved Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
It
So,
worked out. It worked out in that case. Okay, fine.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you don't know it. Look, if the coach and the training staff don't really know the depth of the injury, they need to step in and
Right.
protect the future of what the team is. And the final four, you know, the coach doesn't care. He
No.
doesn't,
No.
even though Paul Maurice has he's there on the coaching staff and he's got Kachuk, he needs him. They still played him. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Hey.
Hockey
Hey.
mentality.
Hey. This is my point about McDavid.
Yep.
Do you have a
Absolutely.
coach and a GM that's saying, "Hey, big picture, we need to save you for the cup, the run for the cup. We already know we're locked in against the Kings. We're
Right.
not going to catch, Vegas.
Right.
Let's just save you right now and keep you off the ice." That's my point. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. I'm sorry for going off the rails and going back and forth, but like and subscribe.
God, you're the best. All right. Now we have, I think, literally a team I cannot get an idea. They have maybe the best goaltender, but I don't understand Winnipeg. They were in the toughest division, I felt.
Yep.
They were stellar all year, but they are so under the radar,
Yep.
and they're playing a team in St. Louis that is bloody hot coming in.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, Scott, what do you think?
Well, St. Louis had what, a 12, 13 game winning
Yep.
streak, best
Hmm.
in their franchise history.
Yeah.
They've been on the smoke show. They came back up. They've
Right.
been down, they've been up, and they went up for a long time. You know, but I think the wild card is going to take it on this one, St. Louis, because you know they didn't make it out of the last. The Jets didn't make it out, right? The Jets, yeah, they didn't
Right.
make it out.
Right.
Make it
Winnipeg
out of the
Jets.
first round.
Right.
They fell short again. I just don't see them having that playoff player. You know, you talk
Right.
about baseball, you talk about basketball. It's a whole nother gear when you get into playoffs, and
Right.
especially in hockey. Every other night, you're looking across the way to a guy that you're going to go back out there and skate against him.
Right.
Get hammered against the boards. Try to defend him, try to slow him down. You know, and then I think St. Louis takes it in five. I've noticed I'm the
Wow.
only one trying to predict how many times. Like Jay's just like, yeah, 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 they're gonna win. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I look at the end of the day, if you're going to pick the series, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole and pick them in 5 or 6. Look, it's hard enough to pick a series in the NHL Stanley
Yeah, it
Cups.
is.
It
It
is
is.
okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you going out there on the limb. Look, I'm not going to hold you to it if Washington wins in 6.
Hey,
Okay, all right,
hey,
all right.
hey,
Come on, it's
hey,
just about making money. Okay,
hey,
come on.
hey,
I
hey,
taught you. I
hey,
taught you.
I'm gonna run up that hill and put my hands up like Rocky and be like, I told you, Jay, I told you.
Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, exactly. And then we have the Vegas Golden Knights against the Wild. The Vegas Golden Knights are in the top three. In a stat I think is very important in the playoffs, they're top three in power play efficiency, along with New Jersey. And I got to be honest, I've watched a number of Golden Knights games, and they are built for playoff hockey. They
Yes,
are
they
the
are.
kind of team that wins 3-2. They don't really blow you off the line. They're just a really, really good playoff club.
Yes, they're four lines deep. You don't know which line's out there because they can slowly move in players in and out so smooth that you don't realize that they're changing lines on you so quickly when they're in the
Right.
offensive zone. Um, Fleury's going back to Vegas. This is his retirement
Yes.
year. He got the win in OT against Ducks. They were
What a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment. They let him have that final win and they put him in the OT, so he does get the W. That was nice. But yeah, I can see I can see Vegas just smoking them and taking this could be a sweep. Um, I
Yeah.
don't think Minnesota has it in them, but Vegas is that team though. Is just they're beautiful and they're thuggish. They can
Right.
switch it on you so quickly, and that's why they can win the West. They could absolutely win the West, but
Absolutely.
it.
So give me your finals picks.
Oh, well, I like
I
it. Oh, it's so hard.
I,
I
I
like.
know that's why we're off the rails. We're
I
we're
know
doing
we're
the
off the
hard work here,
rails.
Scott. We're
Yeah.
doing the hard work for no money. Like and
Well,
subscribe. Go
like
go
and
go
that
ahead.
subscribes. There's
Yeah,
so
so we
many.
can get some money here.
There's some tariffs going against Canada. I think they win. They need the championship.
Right.
Um, I think Edmonton's going to make it to the final again. Um, I would like to say it's either going to be the Panthers or Lightning, though. That's where I'm just divided. I think the Capitals are going to have it too easy, and then when they finally get against a rough team, they're going to fall short. That's how I see it.
I
You
I
know,
I sort of concur. I think the winner of the West is going to come out of the Colorado Dallas series. And I think the winner of the East is going to come out of the Tampa Bay Florida series. I'm predicting a Colorado Florida final. And
nice, strong,
I just Florida is
strong,
such a big bad team and they
strong.
are so deep and
Yeah,
they just know how to play playoff hockey.
yeah. We need to get you a red hat with that
Well,
63 on the side.
I have a future on Colorado. The first like month of the year, they literally were playing like the Ontario Rain, and they were just terrible. And I got them at 20-1, and I said, "Whoa, yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
that's good. That's
Right?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's just more money I can give you on the golf course.
right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Sorry,
I got Edmonton at plus 540.
that's
I really
nice.
I need to get back and get the plus 900 before it changes again.
Well, the funny thing is, and I'm going to give you some advice here is if you're going to do that, wait, just take a shot, and if the Kings win game 1, that'll go up to
Yes.
1200 or 1300.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and and you just got to wait it out one game.
Yeah. It's true. And it moves that much. It
It
does. Even,
does.
even if they get out of the first round, it still moves that much
Absolutely.
because you don't know what injuries are coming in stuff. And all of a sudden
Right.
that changes the boards dramatically, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I
All
mean,
right.
I'm not like Big Money Jay that's putting down $1,000 bets. I'm 10, 20.
Dude, I'm collecting bottles and cans, okay? So Friday we're going to be talking. Where's NASCAR go this week? Do you know?
I don't know. I've been
Okay,
late.
we'll
I got
get to
laid
it
out
on
with my
Friday.
chest right now, man. My
Yeah, I
back's
hope you
killing
heal
me.
up. I hope you heal up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let your beautiful family take care of you for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. My daughter's taking care of me. Got two dogs watching over me. Yeah.
Oh, God bless your daughter. Such a beautiful human. So your son too. All right. That's it today for Off the Rails Sports Podcast, and we'll see you soon.
All
Yep.
right.